Hello, welcome back to the woods and welcome back to another simple stick project. So this is another one of those super simple stick projects, the ones that you guys absolutely love. Now I can't take all the credit for this one. I saw the idea over on Instagram and it was a guy called My Primitive Survival, and I'll put that in underneath. Everything was in Russian, but I saw the idea and I thought, what a cracking little idea. And I've just sort of taken it, tweaked it and modified it very slightly. But the original idea came from him. Now for this project, what you're going to need is a saw, your knife, and one of these. And it's a little V-shaped gouge. You can usually buy them in sets off the internet, and they're as cheap as chips, and you get about 10, and they're all different gouges. This one is a little one that's got a V cross section at the end. Now you're also going to need some wood. I've taken a piece of wind-blown willow, one that's come down in the weather, and I want a bit of green wood, and using my saw I'm going to cut myself a batten and my piece of wood that I'm going to work on. And this one is just over a hand's width and it's about 3 fingers wide. And in my first job with this, I'm going to split it through the middle, so I've halved it, and I'm going to use my knife and my batten to do that. So here's my piece of wood. I've battened it through, so I took it in half, like so, and then I took one of those halves and I've halved that again. And this is the bit that I want. First job is working on this side where you've got that little line running through the centre where the pith is I'm going to slice that out and get that side nice and flat. Once I've done that, I'm going to flip it over and do the same to the other side. The way I tend to work is I shave down the sides on both sides, which then raises the centre. I can then slice through to take that centre piece out. So that's the front and the back all shaved down and smoothed off. I'm now going to just take off these little bits of bark on the side before we get on with our next job. For my next job, what I want to do is I want to make a hole slap bang in the middle, and for that I'm going to use the tip of my knife and I'm going to bore a little hole, and then using the very point I'm just going to scoop that out and gradually enlarge it. Now I have to be a little bit careful. I can't apply too much pressure because with a thin piece of wood like this, twisting the knife can actually crack the wood, so I need to be a little bit careful with this. There's quite a bit of fine stuff goes on in here and I don't really want to cut myself, so I think I'm going to pop my glasses on. Now I've made a little dimple on that side and the point of my knife has just started to come through on this side, so I'm going to turn the wood over and repeat the process on the other side. Now obviously when you're doing this, make sure your fingers that are on the back side are well out of the way. And there's the little hole. Now I want to enlarge that so it's about the size of my thumb, and that is going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of care. So I'm going to crack on. Now obviously making that hole can be quite tricky because the grain runs that way, and to make a hole that's circular, as you're cutting, you can cut through the grain. So you've got to be really careful, and sometimes it helps to use a firm surface to work on, like a log. So that's what I'm going to do next. So there it is, all cleaned out, just big enough for my thumb. Now my next job is on this bottom edge from about the centre point directly below the hole, is I want to cut a little curved arc on that side and then over on that side too. Now, for the next bit, I'm going to work on the top edge up here above where the little hole is. And what I want to do is put a stop cut about here in line with the edge of the hole, and a stop cut on the other side in line with the edge of the hole. I'm then going to very carefully shave up to it in an arc that runs this way towards that stop cut. You can see I've started cutting towards where that stop cut is, and when I get 3 or 4 curls, all I do is just trim those off. Like so, and I'm going to repeat the same on the other side. So you can see now he's started to develop quite a distinctive shape, and you can start to see what he's going to be. At the top here, on top of that flat area, I'm going to put a stop cut in the centre, and then I'm going to cut up to it from both sides, creating a V on the top. Here you go. It's got a little V on there. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put a little V stop cut running just below, coming down towards where the top of the circle is, and then up to that I'm then going to cut to give it a little bit of detail. So there he is. The next thing I'm going to turn my attention to is out here at the ends, where I've got these slightly squared bits. I want to do a curved cut that's going to run down to that corner, and I'm going to do the same on both sides. So there he is. We can start to see the shape already. There's a little bat straight out of the latest Marvel movie. Now, at the moment, his wings are a bit chunky to fly. So what I'm going to do is gradually taper those down from the centre out to the edge, just to make them a little bit thinner and a little bit daintier. So there he is, pretty much finished, and if you wanted to use him just like that, you could. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, my little gouge tool, and I'm just going to add a few little details. I'm maybe going to put a little bit of detail around the wing and around the body and up around the face. And there he is, your very own little Bushcraft book bat. And they're a great little thing. They don't take very long to make. They're very, very useful. There's something else you can do with these is if you get a stick and you pop that through there like that, what you can then do is wave it over your fire and just semi-char it to give that little bit of colour. And that also helps out to bring out the detail, because the surface will go quite a dark browny colour depending on how long you hold it over the flame. But those little bits that you've put in with your little chisel, they'll still stay quite light coloured. So it's just a good way of emphasising the details on there. And these are quite a quick little project, quite enjoyable to do, and I think they're absolutely cracking. But I know what you want to know. You want to know, what the hell do I use it for? I'm about to show you. So here's my little bat, here's my book, and what his job is, well, you've all been in your hammock at night trying to read, and your head torch, for some strange reason, as the pages curl, they never quite get to that little middle bit, so you're having to hold it open, which is, again, never very comfortable. Fear not, you now have your Bushcraft book bat, and all you do with him is you pop him in there, and you pop your thumb on him, and you push him down, and he holds your book open. Genius idea, absolutely brilliant. So thank you to My Primitive Survival over there for this cracking little idea. I hope I've done you proud. And for you, well, I hope I've given you another little project that you can carry out next time you're out in the woods. As I said, doesn't take long, and it's loads and loads of fun. So before I sign off, I just want to say a quick thank you and a Merry Christmas to all of you guys who've followed the channel through the year. You've liked my videos, you've subscribed to the channel, you make the comments. You guys make it all worthwhile. And coming up with little projects like this one for you guys to have a go at is my pleasure. It's my thank you for everything that you guys do for me. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, then remember, give it that thumbs up that thumbs up, And if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. In the description box down below, you will find a link to my social media, so my Facebook and my Instagram page. You will also find a link over there to my Etsy shop, Greencraft shop, where you'll find the patches, etc. Although it's selling out very, very fast. I'm about to head back now and box up a load more stuff to go out. And I was doing the same thing yesterday and the day before that. So thank you guys very much for that. You could also pop over to my merch shop. It's in the bar down below. It's also in that link, in the Linktree link. Go over there, get yourself one of my t-shirts, get yourself a sticker, get yourself a mug with the Greencraft logo on. It's all there. Go over there and have a look. Anyway, I think that's everything. I've been Neil, and until next time, stay safe.